Okay, we'll get started. We'd like to welcome Jason Day and Lydia Ko into the interview room at the Grant Thornton Invitational. Our 2023 champions, welcome back. Finished 6th last year. Lydia, we'll start with you. You guys won this tournament 2 years ago. Talk a little bit about what it's like playing with Jason and how you guys mesh as a team.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that I get to do this alongside Jason for the 3rd consecutive year. This tournament is great. We don't really, as much as people think, I don't think we cross paths that much. Maybe for some sponsor things here and there, but other than that, our schedules are pretty busy in our own ways. So, this is a really cool way to end the season. It was fun to come down the stretch, with Jason in 23 and end up winning. But yeah, I think for me, I learned a lot this week. Seeing how the guys play and how they go about their business. So I'm excited to be here again, and hopefully we have a great week.
All right, Jason, what's it like playing with Lydia?
It's great. I mean, obviously, it's. I said it out there that she's a Hall of Famer, and it's always nice to be around greatness and kind of see what she does, not only before the round, what she does practicing. You can always learn. Every tournament you play, you can always learn, especially from anyone that you're around. And Lydia's a complete professional when it comes to her golf game. So it's nice to be able to see what she does great on the golf course, talking about what she does great, how she does it, and then trying to put that into my game somehow. And I'm always trying to learn. And obviously I know that Lydia's had a lot of success ever since she's 15 years old, being on the tour to right now. She's had tremendous success, and I've always been a big fan. So I'm always looking forward to playing with Lydia out there on the golf course, especially a week like this where it is fun.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the state of your games coming into the week, and then we'll open up to questions. Jason, let's start with you.
I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. I haven't played for a while. So, I played Utah, which was about a month ago, and then, I had to test some new clubs, and then I've had about another month off. So I've been, just trying to get a handle on those clubs. But it feels pretty good right now. So I'm looking forward to a good week, trying to ease my way into the week, and then obviously tomorrow's another Pro-Am, but once tomorrow's done and we get past that, then the focus switches and you start to get back into game mode. So.
And Lydia, 2024 is one of those years I know that you will never forget. Let's talk about 2025. You won the HSBC. So just talk a little bit about your season and the state of your game as well.
Yeah, last year was really unbelievable. So I think, coming into 2025, my goal was to have at least one win. And, I got the win out of the way early in Singapore this year. I think the middle part of the season could have been a lot better. I joked that I made no money in July. So July wasn't great. But other than that, I feel like it's been a year where I've learned a lot about my game. Sometimes you just look at the results. Did I make a top 10? Did I make the cut? Did I win? But I think there's a lot of takeaways that you get from events, and I feel like I had a lot of growth in that sense. And I've also had like 3 weeks off before this one, so we are all coming in refreshed, and I think that's a great thing about this event. As much as we really want to win, I think it is probably a little bit more lighter, and we're just trying to enjoy it. And some of the players do club testing this week as well, so I think it's just a great event to kind of set for next year as well.
All right, great. We'll open it up to questions. You all right? Yep, let's go to Matt.
Yeah. Obviously, year 3 of the partnership, but for those that maybe are just tuning in this year to the Grant Thornton Invitational, just how did this partnership come to be, and how has the relationship, the friendship maybe grown year after year?
That's you. Yeah.
I always want to toss it over.
I opted when they were saying, hey, who would you like to play with? There was a list. I'm like, that one right there, Lydia Ko. So that's kind of how we started that. So, but it was, the friendship's been great ever since. We gelled so well the first year, and then, just the last 3 years been amazing to be teaming up with each other and obviously getting to know each other more, getting to know the caddies more. Like obviously Paul and Brucey are good friends as well, and it's been a fun 3 years. I don't know how much longer I've got with her. I'm not sure when she's going to retire at some point. She's going to retire at some point, so I'm trying to hang on to her shirt for as long as I can.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so much fun. I've always been a fan of Jason, so when they were like, how would you like to play with Jason Day? And I was like, would you like to play Jason Day? Like, you have to say that, in your mind, you're like, wow, it's like a dream come true. So I was glad that we won in 23 because I thought that would up our chances of playing together the year after. And, just to be here, 3 years straight, it's awesome. I just have a great time, and I think the chemistry we have, between us and our caddies, I think that is probably the best part of this week. We all just have a good laugh out there, and I think that's why we also do well in the pressured, conditions as well.
And some new faces, some new teams this year. As year 3 going into year 3, what are some of the keys to success out there in terms of working with each other and even kind of navigating the course?
You want to go?
Yeah, okay.
I'll follow in later.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's always hard to play with a new partner. I think we are some of the. I think there's less than a handful of players that have played together especially the last 3 years. So it's easiest for us in the sense of we don't need to get used to the other player's game on a Tuesday. But for us, I think like Jason's so easy in the sense if I do put the ball in a weird or questionable position, he's like, I got it, don't worry about it. So to have a partner that's very relaxed and is positive, has a positive approach, it makes it a little bit less stressful for me. Obviously, I still want to hit good shots and give us a lot of good opportunities, but. No, it's golf. Everybody that knows the sport know that we're not going to be perfect, in each shot. But just to have a partner in those kind of positions, I'd rather be, there with Jason than just be by myself. So I feel like we're stronger together in that sense. But yeah, I think we're both very easygoing, so we don't really have a bias. If somebody's open to, hitting the first tee shot on one, Jason will do that and vice versa. So I think that's what made it easy for us, and I think that's what worked well, and I don't think that tactic will change, going forward.
Yeah, I mean, she talks about hitting it into a questionable spot. I've never seen her do that for me. It's always the other way around. And I think having Lydia as a partner, her demeanor and the way she carries herself out there, she's very calm. Even under situations like real pressure situations. I remember 2023 when she hit that 3-wood on 17. I mean, that was tough. I was kind of out of position, and she stood up there and hit 3-wood to 8-10 feet. That really sealed the deal for us. So that was a crucial hole, or a very, very pivotal hole for us to be able to walk down 18, not have to worry too much about having to hit really good shots down 18, especially into the green. So, with her and the way that she carries herself under pressure is, there's a reason why she's won so many times. And it was really cool to see. So, anytime, if I'm feeling nervous out there, and obviously everyone feels nervous out there, but it's nice to be able to look across the tee box and see someone that's very calm and stoic in pressure situations. So it's been an absolute joy to be able to be around Lydia and her caddy Paul. So.
All right, let's take one more, Lee.
Since you've played together now, third year, you mentioned a little bit, but what have you been able to take something from each other's game and maybe put it toward your game?
Plenty from her game, but probably not from mine. But her wedge game, her practice, the way she practices her wedges, she puts cones out on the driving range. the way that I really love her putting technique. I think her putting technique's off the charts. I know that she did say that she just changed putters, but it's not dramatically different.
It's
right?
the same.
It's pretty much the same.
With a different
so,
grip, yeah.
Yeah, it's just there's like subtle changes about it, but like I mean, everything that she does, you know, kind of wedges in around the green. Like I take a lot of notice, especially mainly wedges. Like that's something that I've always tried to improve. It's always hard like anyone that plays a game. It's very difficult to control flights, trajectory, spins. You know, it's hard, and like she seems to do it very, very well. And the way that she does is very simple, and that's kind of the way that my mind thinks about when I'm playing golf. I try and keep things as simple as possible, and she does. And you know, she just repeats it over and over again every time she has a range session, and that's why she's so good. And I'm working towards that. Let's say that, Lee.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that I learned was Jason's routine, how he walks into the shot, you know, how, you know, he goes through his thought process, you know, with club selection and all that. I feel like it was very consistent, and I always say that I try and do a good job of the things that I can control, and your pre-shot routine and, you know, those kind of things are, you know, in my control, where what the ball does is really out of my control. So just seeing how meticulous he was with that and how consistent that was, I'm sure he didn't just wake up one day and found that routine, right? He found, you know, what worked, you know, does it need to be faster, slower, what does he need to incorporate? And, you know, just seeing that, you know, in person, you get a better idea of that. You know, that was really cool. I tried to follow Jason's chipping technique last year, and I realized it's not for me.
Yeah, you don't want to go full J Day.
But it's pretty impressive. You know, I feel like Jason has a unique but very consistent style of short game, but hits so many different types of shot with that, and I didn't know that was possible. So I think I would have to restart my golfing short game career if I was to do this, you know, Jason's style. But it was, you know, really cool to kind of see that and try that and go, wow, like, I wonder why he does that. So it's like this week is just so cool because, you know, it doesn't matter if you're the #1 ranked player in the world or you're 50th or 100th. I think there's always room for improvement. And, you know, I literally get, you know, the seat right next to him and watch it, you know, all in front of me. So there's a lot of things that I think all of us are taking away from each other.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Lydia, Jason, best of luck this week. Thank you for your
Appreciate
time.
it.
Jason, we can stay right there.